a group of 7 heroes rose up and saved the world from hordes of merciless fiends. Their names were thus: Kazinsi, Subie, Dantarg, Noel, Bakon, Rock Bouquet, Wagnus. It was said they would return, should the world fall under threat once more. Each time that conflict and turmoil descended upon the land, people were reminded of that legend. However, as discord gave way to peace, the legend would slip from people's minds into oblivion. Thus, history was doomed to repeat. After years of stability, the veil of peace lifted, revealing another age of division and strife.
It's only a matter of time before fiends attack this town.
We need the legendary 7 heroes to save us. Now, more than ever.
To hell with you fiends! I refuse to cower before you!
What?
Once again, the names of the 7 heroes rang throughout the land. Those harbingers of justice had returned. And yet,
Sagzar,
Do not hide things from me.
It began a fortnight ago. I received reports of strange incidents occurring all throughout the world's oceans. Recurring incidents. I assessed their validity myself, and have calculated that a great calamity is poised to occur. To call the conclusion worrisome would be a massive understatement.
Historical precedent has already demonstrated how much ruin it would entail. And by ruin, I mean the end of civilization. That is why the leaders have elected to gather researchers the world over, for the sake of inventing a one-way interdimensional teleportation device.
For us, the most pressing matter is determining not its extent, but how much time we have left. Formerly habitable land will turn to inhospitable tundra at an alarming rate. Blighted rain will fall from blackened skies, leaving untold devastation in its wake. I estimate that within the first 10 days, nearly all life will be wiped out.
And how long until the first of those 10 days is upon us?
As little as half a year.
What?
At the moment, the teleporter can only handle a fraction of the populace. And that's a best-case scenario.
Are we to just abandon the commoners to their fate? Sagzar. I have heard enough. You are to assume direct control over this interdimensional research, effective immediately. As for the Council of Elders, you just leave them to me.
With all due respect, I am not up to this task.
You and Noel took an oath to protect the kingdom, him with the blade, and you with the book. Noel is now a swordsman without peer on the front lines. He has fulfilled the promise he made. Do you intend to as well, or break it? There is no time for you to wring your hands. We must make use of what little time remains to us. Even if we cannot save everyone, we must endeavor to save as many as we can.
As you command. I will do my utmost to ensure that the teleporter is ready.
Have you heard what Saxar is doing?
Yes. Wagnus chose him to head development of a portal device.
The bookworm now has an entire team at his disposal.
At this rate, he'll never emerge from that musty study of his.
I shall keep tabs on him.
Much appreciated. You know how he is one to throw himself into his work. He is like as not to forget to even eat.
To wit, my father is planning a banquet in his honor. Will you join us?
Thank you for the offer, but I have never been one for pomp and circumstance.
But I implore you, just picture the delight on Saxar's face.
He knows more than anyone how I despise such things.
That he does. The two of you have been bosom buddies as long as any of us can remember. It's as if you were born to complete each other's sentences. I admit to being more than a touch jealous of such a close relationship.
Don't be. Spend enough time with someone and anyone can become close.
And Rock Bouquet always followed you around like a loyal puppy. Foraging in the mountains, fishing on the open ocean, exploring treacherous caverns. Yet there I was, always on the outside looking in, never a part of the group. Perhaps had I not been born a Hierophant's daughter.
Why the long face, and this talk of the past? Is something the matter, Oriev?
Nothing of note. Despite how close you were, you chose disparate paths. Him, the book, and you, the blade. And those two paths led each of you to where you are today. It is simply incredible. The two of you have come so far, but I digress.
Sorry to cut things short, Oriev, but the battlefield calls.
And by battlefield, you mean the one on which you will face the termites.
That's right. Wagnus even named the retinue the Crimson Dragons.
Noel.
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing.
See you.
Please do not return in a coffin.
So you came.
This island, at least, appears to be safe from the termites.
An uncharted desert, a jungle teeming with hostile wildlife. Human life could never thrive here, making it all the safer from the termites in turn.
It is the city I fear for. Its outlying areas have fallen one by one, with casualties in the thousands.
Lord Wagnus, you are the commander of our little militia. Have you no stratagems to turn the tide of battle?
I most certainly do, yet there is a snag. Any squadron we form will almost certainly be marching into an early grave. Subie, we all know your prowess as a lancer is unmatched by anyone in the realm. Your unwavering composure is also laudable. 'Twould be quite a boon indeed to have you on our side. I would ask you to spearhead this elite squadron.
I have chosen to depart this island on the morrow. There is a ship that is charting a course for foreign lands.
It matters not to where you flee. The calamity will strike every crevasse. But if we turn a blind eye to the threat the termites pose, they will exterminate us before any natural disaster can.
You know I care not for interdimensional devices. I wish to indulge myself in the present, not fret over what the future holds. At the same time, I will hear you out. A brother-in-arms owes you that much. Especially given that you came all this way.
So in other words, I was able to catch you just in the nick of time. What say you, Subie? Care to stand shoulder to shoulder with me once more?
Look over there. The waves now crash against the shore. They are also less frequent, and the wind has picked up considerably. Perhaps the tidal wave of legend is coming.
Where are you?
I cannot ride the waves dressed like this.
That can wait for another time. I need an answer from you now.
My answer is what can wait. The wave comes but once a generation. What matters is this. Do you make the most of life, or does it make the most of you? Do we ride the waves, or are we sucked in? Do we face destiny, or let it pass us by? Although, you did arrive on the eve of my departure, perhaps that too is a destiny I should face. Let us make a little wager. If I am able to succeed in riding the legendary wave, then I shall gladly accompany you on your mission.
It's a trap! Come back! Ah! Ah! Something truly vile approaches.
Commander Noel!
We are in no shape to fight this thing. I'll hold it off. Run! So this is how it ends.
Stand strong! It is the only way!
Ah! I am Noel, commander of the Crimson Dragons. I owe you my life on this day.
I merely lent you my lance. It was you who laid that insect low. Meaning that out of everyone and everything in this cave, you are the strongest fighter. I am Dantarg. I seek out and defeat accomplished warriors that I may become the strongest of all. Stand and face me. Prove which of us deserves that title.
I would love nothing more than to humor you, but I am scarce able to lift a finger.
Fair enough. I eagerly await the day you will humor me.
You mean to tell me that Dantarg and I are to serve as decoys?
Correct. Your task is simple. Make as much of a commotion as you can to distract the termites.
While the termites are preoccupied with your diversion, Noel's troops shall infiltrate their lair.
You know me well. I would never stoop to slinking around in the shadows. Better you do it.
Wagnus, have the Ivory Tower robes signed off on this yet?
Not exactly. Our dear council has decided to remain mum on the matter. I take this to mean that they fear the termites' response to a headlong assault.
With them holed up in their precious little castle, they doubtless view the threat as a problem for others to handle. Yet the longer we wait here for their decree, the more helpless towns and villages will fall victim to the horde.
They much prefer sipping tea and munching crumpets to running the nation.
And all the while, it is the citizens who suffer. With each person brought to her, the termite queen grows ever stronger, and spawns more drones. Eventually, the throng will burrow beneath our very capital. Should that come to pass, we will doubtless be finished. No, it is on us to take the initiative.
A fool's errand.
Watch it.
Dantarg, lower your spear.
That is Bakon, my trusted strategist.
Why, pray tell, have you not called on me to play a part in this subterranean gambit?
Surely you care not to sully your hands in the trenches.
So you think me worthy of standing behind the chessboard, but not as a piece upon it?
I said nothing of the sort, but we may well meet an ignominious end upon this battlefield. And you have never been one for combat.
What a shame it is to hear such thoughts voiced out loud. I understand better than any of you how the deft movement of one pawn can turn the tide of an entire battle, or seize victory from the jaws of defeat, as it were.
You would imply that you have spotted a fatal flaw in Wagnus's plan.
Hold your tongue. I shall not suffer you besmirching the name of Lord Wagnus.
Subier, enough. It would behoove us all to hear what Bakone has to say.
Ah, yes, that is the Lord Wagnus I know, ever the pragmatist.
Damn it. Another path blocked off. Every last means of ingress to the depths sealed tight. The Queen's defenses are more robust than anticipated.
I didn't think the termites to be so clever.
Clever indeed. More so than us, even, when it comes to military strategy. It is almost as if they are of one singular mind.
Then they lie waiting in the depths to ambush us below?
Yes, the time left to us is short.
But sir, Lord Subier and his squad risked their lives for us to come this far. We mustn't give up now!
If our retreat is cut off and the Crimson Dragons fall, then the Council will strip Wagnus of his post without a second thought. For now, our priority should be returning to the surface with our heads still attached. We fall back and wait for another chance.
Commander!
Stay sharp, troops! Keep your weapons at the ready, and don't break ranks!
Commander, you must flee!
It's still too soon to give up, soldier!
We cannot hold out much longer!
Noel!
The plan we crafted has been utterly dismantled. We could not even find the Queen, let alone defeat her.
The termites are impressive, to say the least. Even Wagnus himself was struck by their resilience.
Although a retreat is in order, I consider the mission a success. We have obtained valuable intelligence that we can use to make a second approach.
Enough blather. I, for one, shall take my leave. And take my anger out on any termites that dare cross me.
We stretch and stretch, yet the Queen remains out of reach. To defeat her, we must become more than humans were ever meant to be.
Although the Crimson Dragons breached the lair, they did not fulfill their main objective. The termites have grown in number, and it is only a matter of time before they come for us.
Then we must seal the gates to the 7th Ward. That should buy us at least a handful of days. Days in which we can at last complete the interdimensional portal.
I understand your position, but evacuating the entire populace would be a nightmare.
Who said we would at all?
You mean?
This world is doomed. The calamity will strike, and when it does, not a soul has a prayer of surviving it. We must quit this world and find a new one where the calamity cannot reach. And as for those fiendish termite monstrosities, we have already lost fully half our good men and women to their insidious clutches. The castle's walls will not protect us one whit. And if some must sacrifice themselves that the rest may live, so be it.
You would have us abandon the citizenry to the most grisly of fates?
Surely I need not remind you that the teleporter's capacity is currently limited. And besides, if they are damned to oblivion no matter what transpires, they should embrace their sacrifice. After all this great nation has done for them, it is the least they can do.
Ill news! Lord Wagnus, I was told to pass this message on to you. The termites somehow managed to breach our blockade at the River Edena.
Impossible. Call Noel immediately. The Crimson Dragons must return to defend our land.
Wagnus! The gods have graciously bestowed upon us the gift of time. Do you truly wish to spurn their divine blessing? Seal the gates.
We cannot hold out here forever. With their numbers bolstered, the termites are sure to overrun the fortress.
And when that happens, nowhere in the entire kingdom will be safe. The streets will run red with blood, and the stench of rotting corpses will fill the air. I fear it will be easier to count the living than the dead.
And yet the council elders would prefer that we remain on the defensive rather than strike back.
The council is but the wax with which the church's decrees are sealed. In reality, the priesthood is the one pulling the strings. And who among them holds more power than the Hierophant? He has elected to seal the ward's gates. The aim? To buy time to complete the interdimensional teleporter.
Wagnus, please do not begrudge my words, as I am simply thinking out loud.
Yes?
I posit that there exists a force even more powerful than assimilation magic. So powerful, it might even save the world. In fact, it may be our only hope.
Even more powerful than assimilation magic? Is that possible?
It fuses not only its subjects' bodies, but their knowledge, their potential, into a singular powerful form.
If it allows for the veritable ingestion of another's life force, should we name it absorption magic? Subier! I am glad you still draw breath, but your wounds are most grievous.
Wrong. They are but mere scratches. I can easily forego their treatment in favor of this conversation.
We are family in blood, as well as in battle. I have no secrets from one I would trust with my life.
This absorption magic, it is a promising development, would you not agree? Promising, yet risky. The personality of the absorbed entity could have a profound effect on the caster. Should you absorb a cold-blooded killer, then, like as not, their murderous urges would become yours.
Perhaps that is for the best. If saving the world requires us to cross a bridge into oblivion, I will gladly pay the toll. Even if our names must live in infamy, it matters not, for we know the truth. What say you, Subie? Though the hells may await us all, we can overcome them together. And thanks to Noel, you know what sort of hells await.
I am offended that you feel the need to even ask. It is true that I may lack Noel's insight, but I do not want for faith. That's all I need.
Excellent. It is decided.
So come, comrades. A toast to our alliance, and to our oblivion. The sky grows dark. I need not remind you what that means.
Fret not. The plan is straightforward enough. Collapse all but one of the holes. That will leave them only one point of egress.
As they trickle out, we meet them head on. And slay every single one of the bastards.
Aye, our main goal should be to cull their numbers. With few of her warriors to stand in our way, we will have a clear path to the Queen.
Rock Bouquet! What in blazes are you doing here?
Why, I am here to lend my aid in the battle ahead. Surely you do not begrudge me that.
Your duties lie elsewhere, as we have discussed.
But I wish to stand alongside you and Lord Wagnus.
We all have our roles to play, and though yours may lie elsewhere, it is no less valuable. So play it.
I will not, for I cannot. Nor do I wish to. I wish to be with you.
You know we cannot take you with us.
But Noel!
We've been over this. We have used forbidden arts that surpass even the limits of assimilation magic. Thankfully, the magic has yet to alter our bodies. But eventually, the monsters we have absorbed will manifest. And when they do, we will all become warped beyond recognition. I fear the effects will not merely be physical either. Our mental faculties will be similarly compromised. As for what awaits us after that, only the gods know. You are my beloved sister. I could never condemn you to such a demeaning fate.
You mean to just brush me aside? Like I am some insect to be swatted away?
Noel is merely concerned about you. He would never dismiss you out of hand.
Lord Wagnus, even you would have me play squire to your knight? What have I done to deserve such treatment? Do you think me unworthy?
Lord Wagnus, with due respect, we must make haste. Lest our plans go up in a plume of smoke.
If she wishes to accompany us, I see no reason to deny her the privilege.
Noel, I shall respect whatever decision you make.
Noel, please. We have always stuck together through thick and thin. Siblings united.
Rock Bouquet, see what your tears do to me? Each one is a dagger that pierces my very heart. There is nothing on this planet that wounds me more than seeing my dearest sibling cry. I know that I have oft been harsh on you, and for that I apologize. Wagnus, if I may ask for your largesse, please permit Rock Bouquet to accompany us.
Move out.
Wagnus.
I know. The time is upon us, at last.
What in the heavens are you doing?
Striking at the Queen while we can.
You fool! Have you gone mad? Stick to the plan. This is no time to rush in. Yes, we may have succeeded in reducing their numbers to a degree. But twofold that lurk below, silently waiting to strike. Nay, three, or even fourfold. Were we to rush in headlong, we would be overrun. And that would ultimately lead us down the path to ruin.
Then we feast.
We what?
Instead of killing the pests outright, we weaken and we then absorb them. That will both restore our stamina and bolster our faculties.
We are in battle, not at a banquet. Or have you forgotten the risks that Noel has made abundantly clear? We have not the luxury of sampling everything on the table. It would behoove us to have more discerning eyes.
That should not be difficult. Just look for the ones who are focused. The ones whose prowess in battle is self-evident. The most ferocious, bloodthirsty ones of all.
Where Wagnus goes, so go I. What else is there to say?
I feel the same way. No matter what may come, I will not leave Noel's or Wagnus's side.
I trust that you too, Bakon, will do as you see fit.
Wait up! What am I? Chopped liver?
Just what we need at a time like this.
I'm coming, and that's that!
Oh, please spare us.
Back to the shadows with you, Kazinsi.
Why not? I'm a warrior, same as everyone else.
Wagnus only decided to let you off your leash because he tired of your incessant yapping.
That's not true. He would never say that.
Kazinsi, enough. Why don't you return to the countryside and live the quiet life?
Noel, come on, you gotta tell him for me. You've gotta! Please! Tell him that he needs me more than he knows!
Cease your incessant mewling, or I shall skin you myself.
It's your life to lose. Not that I care.
Noel.
He is, however, just a human. He could never replace Bakon. Still, he could perhaps serve some purpose. The worst thing we can do is give the termites more time. Arguing with him only makes our chances slimmer.
True. It is decided then. Kazinsi, you are to come with us.
Look there!
It's them!
Could it be?
Is that... They're back! The vanquishers of the Termite Queen, our saviors, have returned!
Thank you so much. My son can finally rest in peace.
1, 2, 3. There are 7 of them.
That's right. Our heroes. Our 7 heroes. Praise be to the 7 heroes! Vanquishers of the Termite Queen!
Champions of the kingdom!
Glory be to the 7 heroes, saviors of our land!
May they go down in history!
Our warriors have fulfilled their charge and valiantly defeated the Termite Queen.
They have.
I remember back when you, my daughter Oriev, and Noel were but children. The three of you have grown so much since those days you spent playing in the sand. And here you stand today, walking a path different from the rest of your playmates. Sagzar, when will the interdimensional teleporter be ready?
The process is proving more complicated than we anticipated. It will be a bit longer before we can teleport the entire kingdom.
Then what if... What if we were to teleport only Alabakan Hill, pray tell?
A small location is probably feasible, even at present.
Then it falls to us to begin the final preparations. You are to teleport Alabakan Hill.
Very well then.
The new world order I intend to establish has no need for heroes. The people need revere only their Hierophant. Everything else is a needless distraction.
What in the world? Hierophant, what happened here?
Fiends appeared, seemingly out of nowhere, and set upon the king!
I don't understand. How could they have possibly breached the gates?
They likely still roam the castle, and I have no weapon with which to protect myself! Magnus, pray lend me your blade.
But...
Now, fool! Guards! Get him!
You traitor!
The traitor here is you. You became one with fiends, sullied your very soul with forbidden arts. You are an incurable disease that festers in the wounds of this land.
No. How dare you?
That your blade rests within his grace is proof enough of that. Whatever you are Wagnus no longer. You're a bloodthirsty mongrel, more fiend than man. Word shall spread to every corner of the kingdom that the 7 heroes are human no more. That they are rabid beasts, a worse threat to humanity than even the termites!
With the Termite Queen vanquished, my charge is fulfilled. Whatever fate may await me now, truthfully, I care not. However, you would do well to remember this. Should you dare to lay so much as a finger on Noel or Subier, your head will be the next to roll. No matter where you try to hide, I will seek you out. And once I have, you will die by my hand.
Take him away. Interesting. Wherever I try to hide, eh? Bold words that amount to an empty threat. Where you are going, I will not even have to hide.
Noel? Noel, why are you here?
I had no other choice.
I beseech you, quit this place now. Were I to escape, it would play right into the Hierophant's hands. He would denounce the 7 heroes as monsters, no better than the termite queen we vanquished. He would remind them of the agony and misery they endured while she was alive, and convince them we herald more of the same. They will cry out for blood, demanding that we pay for our supposed crimes. I say we, because my death alone will not be enough to sate them. Noel, though it pains me to say this, I must be executed. It is imperative that I be tried and found guilty of regicide. It is the only way for the rest of you to lead some semblance of a normal life.
This cross is not yours alone to bear, Wagnus.
Don't throw your life away. I have been branded an enemy of the kingdom. Casting your lot in with me will not change that.
My apologies, Lord Wagnus, but a question, if you would. We are both acutely aware of the interdimensional teleporter's development. But am I correct in assuming it is already finished?
And you bring this up because...
The Hierophant surely knows of Lord Wagnus's immeasurable strength. And likewise, he is doubtless aware that we would most likely come to your rescue. So then why? Why would he take so few precautions against us? It makes no sense.
Simple. We are stronger than he thinks us to be.
No, I think it means...
This is a trap!
Wait, what is that sound?
It can't be. The portal. The portal is activating.
Ah! My skin! It's on fire! It burns!
This was never meant to be Wagnus's execution site! It's the vessel that will carry us from the land we saved into exile!
And we hopped right on board. The Hierophant has already won the hearts of the people. There is no hope of changing their minds. In their eyes, 7 heroes and the termite brood are one and the same. If that is so, then we must... No. Though we may be consigned to the farthest reaches of the Nether Realms, this is not the end! We shall return one day. Of that, I am certain. And when that day comes, you will pay dearly for your crimes. Our revenge will be absolute!
Oriev, why do you not blame me for all that has transpired?
If I did, would that truly bring you peace?
No. Peace is something I will never know again. I have committed unspeakable sins.
You did not falsely accuse Wagnus of slaying his majesty. Nor were you the one who tied Wagnus to that stake and lured the heroes to Alabacon. Yes, you did indeed help banish them to another dimension. but not of your own volition, only because the true culprit, my father, had you firmly under his thumb. You are not to blame. That lies solely with him. And as his daughter, I apologize.
But Noel, he was my closest friend in all the world, and I sent him away with the rest. My hands are stained with his blood. The blood of the man who would have given his life for me!
No, they are not, for Noel still lives. Whatever perils exist in the Nether Realms, I am confident that he will overcome them. He is not one to easily succumb to either despair or madness. And he will return.
Oriev, you are aware more than anyone else of the threat posed by the impending calamity. The sun's warmth will no longer reach us, and the world will be covered in ice. Even if the 7 heroes could return, to what sort of world would they be returning?
Regardless, I choose to place my faith in him. That very faith will lead Noel back to us once more. Of that, I am certain.
Oriev, am I to understand that you intend to remain here, waiting for him to return? That would be tantamount to suicide. There is no guarantee he will ever come back.
Do you remember, back when we were children, that time I managed to get lost in the mountains? I took shelter in a cave, and made do with whatever modicum of food and water I could cobble together. And when the howling of ravenous beasts echoed off the walls, I wanted to run away. But I stood my ground. I stayed right there in that cave, all the while holding fast to my faith. Faith that without fail, Noel would come and rescue me. And that he did, when I came to and my eyes opened at last. He was standing over me, brushing the sweat from my brow. I have sat cowering in the dark once before, and that was enough.
Stop!
What is it, Saxar?
Forgive me, Oriev. When we exiled the 7 heroes, the energy of the device was immeasurable. It bathed the entire hill in an eldritch light, the likes of which I had never seen. And ever since, light of any kind sends shivers down my spine. The light shows me their visages, contorted as they spout rage and hatred. But Noel alone was silent and staring right through me. I can no longer bear to be in the sun. Its presence is simply too oppressive for me. Perhaps I best spend what time remains to me deep within the bowels of the earth. Else that time will be cut shorter.
Saxar. Oh, Saxar.
Oriev, please, I pray that you at least can walk with the light. Find light in a new world. Light that Noel and I shall never see again.
We may have managed to escape the witching circle, but find ourselves in a most vexing place.
So this is the place where we make our last stand. A final resting place, if you will.
If this is to be our last stand, who is it against?
Any who would dare stand in the way of our revenge, that's who.
Our goal is singular. Make the Hierophant who banished us pay the ultimate price for his crimes. And while we're at it, we can get revenge on those accursed ancients. How dare they betray us? They're saviors.
You do realize that is not one goal, but two, do you not?
Well...
If we do not take care, some among us may lose sight of those goals.
Your point being?
As Noel warned, this absorption magic comes with a taxing mental and personal cost. I must presume that Wagnus speaks of us losing our very sanity.
We have traversed dimension upon dimension, and have absorbed countless fiends in the process. It would come as no surprise were our mental faculties to depart us ere long.
Who says we need our sanity to engage in combat?
Should we ever lend an ear to those monstrous whispers, we will lose sight of our current objective and wander dimensions for all eternity.
So what if we do? My ultimate objective is, and always has been, to be the strongest warrior alive. I won't lose sight of that, not even after hundreds of years.
We will achieve our goals. Of that, I am certain. Together, we shall form an unbreakable bond. In so doing, we shall unite as one mind. And in turn, become immortal.
Become immortal? And how exactly do we accomplish that?
A blood oath. That is how we accomplish it.
Another new art.
We will abandon our corporeal forms, becoming shades in the process.
And what of our bodies?
We shall store them in a liminal space where none can find them. Even if our shades are destroyed, we will remain alive as long as our bodies are untouched. Until we can recover and revive, we shall bide our time in slumber.
If we are to swear an oath, then what, pray tell, are the terms of it?
Should it come to pass that 6 of us 7 fall, then our fate rests with the 7th. They shall defend our bodies with their life.
A blood oath, indeed. Eventually, the time will come when someone discovers this place. And whoever does is likely to be a worthy foe. It stands to reason, then, in such an event.
Our mission will be in peril. When 6 have fallen, the 7th must persevere. We must trust each other to the last.
Then in order to make the oath manifest, the vote needs be unanimous. Does anyone have any objections?
What in the stars? Could this be an echo of the 7 heroes? This deserves a closer look.
I must ask, Dare you risk taking even one more step forward? You should know by now that, even should our corporeal forms fail, this is a sacrifice we are all too willing to make.
No!
If this is what fate has planned, then I shall abide. Let us see which of us two heroes can ride the waves of victory this day, shall we?
I always stood in the shadow of the others. But I shall step into my own light when I save the world, alongside Noel and Wagnus!
Many years ago, I made a promise to a friend. And on my honor, I shall see it fulfilled. Even if that means surrendering myself to the profane!
Ever have I sought foes stronger than me. Let us hope you are indeed one. You are!
I shall show them all how I am a true member of the Seven Heroes!
peal of trumpets, the intoxicating applause. A hero's triumph should more than sate my hunger for glory. And I fully intend to partake of that sensory feast!